Last time on the dive shop, we did some stuff and I can't remember what we did, so I probably should watch the video and check out what we did.
Can you remember what we did in the last video?
No.
It's gonna be in a while.
Yeah.
This week on the dive shop, Nora introduces our new staff members, Jonny and Jimmy get staffing upgrades, we've been investing in new equipment at the dive shop and have a new compressor, new BCDs and some other new toys to play with. Gary goes grouper diving in Florida, and Ashley and Jonny talk about this year's volunteer program.
In the past couple months, actually not couple, more like a year I would say so far, we've had a few changes in staff. People coming and going and also a couple upgrades. So the first thing that happened in March, I think, Jonny went to Florida and did his INTC. So ever since he came here for the first time in 2021 as a volunteer, he's grown quite a lot and we're very, very proud of him. Then, at the beginning of our volunteer program, we were lucky to have a kayak girl approaching the shop, coming and being interested in doing an internship with us. She is a marine biologist from SGU in Grenada. She is kayak born. Her name is Ashley. And she joined the volunteer program and went all the way from advanced open water to Divemaster, and then decided to stay here and work with us. So now she's our DM and she will be in charge of running the Caribbean Reef Buddy project, particularly for 2023. This year she ran it already. We're gonna talk a little bit about it later on with her. And she's done an amazing job. So welcome to Ashley. And the last upgrade we had is Jimmy Adams. We had Jimmy joining us last year as a boat skipper, and then he did his advanced, his rescue course, and this year, a few months ago, he upgraded and did his Divemaster course. So from now on, he will be more in the water guiding dives. That means that we also had to recruit a new boat skipper. So, meet Zed.
Keep smiling and waving. Smile and wave, like idiots. Yeah, no, keep smiling. Keep smiling. Zed, you haven't, no. Yeah, Zed. That's it, yeah. Smile and wave.
If you guys are enjoying this video, do feel free to give us a like and subscribe to the channel as well, and maybe even turn those post notifications on. So, seeing as it's been a little while since we've done one of these videos, we've bought a few new toys as well. So we've recently acquired a new Bauer 5-stage compressor, which you can see just over my shoulder. It was quite a fun job getting that in through the, well, I'd say through the gate, but it actually went over the wall over there. So we should have some B-roll of that somewhere on the screen. That was the big purchase, and then also with Gary's trip to the US, he also came back with a couple of new toys himself. He came back with new rebreather, which I'm guessing we're going to have a video coming up on soon. And then Nora's also been on a bit of a spending splurge. She's updated her BCD, as you guys would have seen in previous video, as well as recently her fins and most recently her regulators as well. So there should be videos coming up on those as well. Other than that, we have also taken an major update into our rental gear. We've acquired some Deep 6 backplate and wings, which we've got set up with adjustable harnesses, so we can be training and diving in backplate and wing all the time, just upgrading and upgrading.
I have been fortunate enough to just come back from a diving trip to Florida, where I had a great time with a good pal and client of ours called Nick, as well as another good friend of mine called Doug Ebersol, who we got together and did some great rebreather diving as we brought Nick into the rebreather fold and had a good opportunity to share the bubble-free world with him. So some of the things that we did, diving in some of the great caves in northern Florida, central Florida. We were at Ginny Springs, we were at Blue Grotto, we were at Eagle's Nest. So we had a great time dropping into some lovely caverns and to some lovely caves and getting some pretty good diving done. I personally wanted to increase my dive knowledge. Something I do each year is I try to expand my knowledge in diving, try to expand my training in diving, just because I like to keep on learning about what we're doing and about how we progress. So I was doing full trimix training and my recreational trimix instructor course as well. So I wanted to, just kind of beef things up and push things along a little bit further.
Hey Nick, is there any helium in this? Do I have any helium in mine, or what do you think?
You two are an embarrassment.
Some of the diving we were doing was fairly deep. We were down at 200 feet, 60 meters, doing the trimix stuff. And what I can honestly say is it was dark, cold, yes. And I came away from that training and from those diving experiences talking with Nick and with Doug and saying, I can honestly understand the appeal that some people have for cave diving. I can honestly understand the physical challenges, the mental challenges, the planning considerations that go on in there. But I miss my reef fish. I miss my pretty fish and my scenery and stuff, and it wasn't for me. So Nick is going off again. He's this week in Mexico and he's doing some more cave diving up in the cenotes, and good luck to Nick with all of that. But as we had that conversation of, that's not for me. Some other great things that we did whilst we were in Florida, we popped down to Palm Beach area, and with our chums at Pura Vida, we got an opportunity to do some Goliath Group Aggregation diving, and oh my God. That was much better than I'd anticipated. I thought that we'd drop in the water and see a couple of Goliath groupers, but over the course of a couple of days, we did some fairly rapid drift diving up the coastline. Much of the scenery was kind of sand and wreck and sand, but the encounters we had with probably 24 or more Goliath groupers, and these things are freaking huge, was incredible. And so got some great footage, and we had some great fun with the guys up there, and hopefully you can see some of the footage we've got here and maybe check them out next August. It's something that I understand happens every year at around about the late August time, that the groupers aggregate on some of these sand channels and sandbars to mate, and there were a couple of times we saw them where we were clearly disturbing what they were doing, but we had an immense amount of fun. Go check them out, Pura Vida divers or any of the other dive operators around about the Palm Beach area.
Nora,
Yep.
should we tell them to feel them?
Oops. Just smile and wave. Smile and wave.
So we've just concluded our volunteer season with Caribbean Reef Buddy for the year. It's been a very long season this year, very rewarding, and we've had a few new people join the team along the way.
Hi guys, as Jonny said, my name is Ashley, and I'll just be speaking on some of the things that we did at Caribbean Reef Buddy this year and some exciting new plans that we have for next year's program. This year we had a few projects that we ran. We had the lionfish containment project.
Lionfish containment, as you'd have seen if you've watched a few of our videos on the Reef Buddy program before, is where we go out and tackle the invasive species of lionfish in the Caribbean region by hunting them with our volunteers, and then on a Saturday coming back here and cooking up some good stuff on the grill.
In addition to lionfish containment, we did have the bruvs, where we focused on looking at the apex predators that we have along the shores, well, in the waters around Caracu. We mostly saw nurse sharks.
We had some turtles though, not quite apex, but
We'll allow it.
turtle's a turtle.
And finally, one of our main focus was we had a few reef projects. So we had Coral Watch, we had Reef Check, and most importantly, well for me, we had the Coral Nursery project, where we focused on elkhorn and staghorn species. And this year we introduced to the coral nursery the staghorn species. And sadly, we've noticed over the past few months while we were doing the project and just regular diving that we've been experiencing a bit of stony coral tissue loss disease. So we're losing a lot of our brain corals. Most of our stony corals are just dying off. So for next year, we're thinking of expanding our coral nursery to introduce different species like pillow corals. We've been losing a bit of those as well to stony coral tissue loss disease, and then we've also been losing a few of our brain corals. So we're trying to implement those few species into our nursery. And then we're just going to expand the 2 species that we have as well. We're going to try to fragment those and just make the nursery a bit bigger. And after our little baby corals grow into little adult corals, okay, not really, but you get it. We're going to outplant those onto the reef and monitor them and hope for the best.
Awesome. We also have coming next year a brand new segment of a program never seen before, Uncharted on Caribbean shores, which Ash is going to talk about because I know not very much about it.
So we're going to introduce the macro invertebrate and photography program. So we combined the 2 programs. One, because we've noticed that we don't really have a catalog of the macro species that we have here on Caribou and in Grenada. So it'll be a really fun project to see what species we find. If we find any new ones, we'll let you know. We're also going to partner the macroinvertebrate study with a photography course. So you get to touch up on your skills, and if you don't have the skills, then you get to learn how to do underwater photography.
Yeah, I think Nora's looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We also, very excitingly next year, have a outreach program in the community that we're going to be doing, where we're going to be working with school children and school teachers as well to try and promote some more ocean conservation and also give them some additional skills that they wouldn't otherwise learn.
Okay, so here in Caribou, we do have a number of people, both children and adults, who are unable to swim, and there are a few who are even fearful of the ocean. So we were thinking if we can gently introduce those people to the ocean in terms of learning to swim, probably learning to snorkel, teaching them a bit about, animals, what do we have in the ocean, and gently introduce them to coral conservation. So we're going to be having a bit of fun with the local kids next year for the local outreach program.
So that's been a little bit about the programs that we've run this year, what we've been focusing on, the programs we're going to be running next year, with a couple of new ones as well, which is very exciting. And hopefully we can get some of you guys out here diving with us next year, doing all of the fun stuff we got on the program and also helping to save our oceans. So I've been Jonny.
I've been Ashley.
And we will pass you on to the next segment, or if it's the last segment, the end of the video.
Woo-hoo.
Bye. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and we'll see you again for the next one.